What's up, YouTube? What y'all got going on? So today, something a little bit different. I ain't got a whole lot going on. It's raining. It's nasty outside. So I figured I would stay here inside and we talk about me, I guess. Not my favorite subject, but ladies! So I was born in 1990 up in Charlotte, North Carolina. When I was born, the doctors realized something was wrong because I wasn't breathing, but they didn't know what was wrong. They told my parents that I probably wouldn't live, through the night. 3 days later, they come to my parents, I was still alive. Obviously they had put a tube down my throat and put it on a ventilator, gave me oxygen, all that good stuff. So that's how I was breathing. They came to my parents when I was 3 days old and said, okay, we're gonna put a trach in him. It's still alive and it can't live like this, so they gave me a trach. So after several months went by, and I was still in the ICU, and 6 months, they finally let me come home. They gave me diagnosis of congenital myopathy. That's the medical term saying, we don't know what's wrong, but we're pretty sure it's muscle related. So that is my official diagnosis. So my diagnosis basically affects all my muscles. And your whole body's a muscle, so there you go. So I require help breathing, and I just said I can't walk. But other than that, everything else is pretty normal. So my parents brought me home and everything was good. I started school on time with everybody else. Something that I didn't do, I didn't talk till I was 3 years old. With my trait, they had never had anybody that could talk, or they neglected to tell my mother how that process worked. I don't know what it was. Finally, we discovered I could talk since I put my finger over the trach hole. Therefore, the air goes across the vocal cords like it's supposed to. Therefore, sound comes out. So about 3 years old, we figured out how I could talk, and I ain't stopped talking since. Went to school on time with everybody. There was really no exceptions really made for me. And I'm not saying that negatively. My parents wanted me to go to school and do everything everybody else did. And so that's, and as an adult, I'm very thankful. Even though as a child, it was kind of hard. So I was in all the regular classes, right up to high school, graduated high school on time. I graduated high school in 2008. Growing up, all throughout my childhood, my dad took me hunting. Like I said, they didn't treat me any different than any other kid. So as soon as I learned gun safety, and let me tell y'all, back in them days, everybody knew gun safety. There weren't no such thing as pellet guns. I mean, there was, but they weren't nothing like they were today. So I got started off on a 22 at like 3 years old. My dad, and I'll insert a picture, He went to the gunsmith and said, hey, I got this little guy. He can't even pull a trigger, but I want to take him hunting. How do we do this? So the gunsmith put a little thought into it, and they just simply took off the trigger guard and made me a little 1 inch by 3 inch rod that went in where the trigger went. And so instead of using one finger, back in those days, like I said, I was only 3 years old, I just propped the gun up and wrapped my little fist around the little rod and pulled the trigger. So that's how I got it done back then. So like I said, grew up hunting. I also grew up in the Boy Scouts. Once again, man, I feel old. Back in the day, the Boy Scout program was much better and not what it is today. Back in those days, Boy Scouts wasn't, hadn't divulged into the program that it is today. So back then we learned a lot of skills, outdoor stuff, we learned business. I mean, when you took a merit badge program, you actually learned something about that subject. And what they used to say was, doing all these merit badges, eventually you would run into something that you liked, and you could make that a career. Yeah, well, I didn't find one that I liked. There weren't no farming merit badge. But nonetheless, looking back, I enjoyed it. It was good for me. And I went all the way through the program. Once again, not many exceptions made. And I got the rank of Eagle Scout, I'd say about 2008, right when I graduated high school. So about 2009, 2010, I went to college. I went to community college. And unfortunately, like most people, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't want to be there. I wasn't quite mature enough. So that kind of went out the door. But nonetheless, still paid all the loans. So there's that. So after college, kind of hung around for a bit, and I got involved with my culture. I'm Native American, and I'm enrolled in the Lumbee tribe of North Carolina, and our home territory is Robinson, Scotland, Hope, and Cumberland counties. All my relatives, most of them anyway, they stay in Robinson County. But nonetheless, that's where I spent a lot of childhood time as well. Back then, everything in my world was family oriented. Birthdays, Christmas, holidays, all that stuff you do with the family. And so we spent a lot of time in Robinson County as much as we could. So I started getting culturally involved, started singing with a group called Southern Eagle. Did a lot of powwows, traveled all over, North, South Carolina, did some Tennessee and Georgia, and some of the brothers, they traveled all up and down the East Coast. So I did a lot of that from the years 2010, and I still do it whenever I can, so I reckon we're still doing that. I don't remember the year. Somewhere along there, I decided I'm gonna get rabbits. And I started raising rabbits. I'll put some pictures in there. Hardy's over there just, them allergies, dog. Them allergies is killing him. But anyway, had the New Zealand, chinchilla buck, and I had a Californian doe, and she was a great mother. I had several other Hardy's just dying over there. Hold on. I had the buck and the doe, and I did that for several years. We raised rabbits. We did on a horse. So, you know, they say chickens is your introduction to homesteading and permaculture. Nah, for me it was rabbits. And rabbits are way easier. Quite frankly, they're better. But anyway, I'm doing chickens now. I love the chickens. They're great, but we're gonna get the rabbits sooner than later. So I did rabbits, we bred them and I raised them to eat. So we did that for quite a while. You know, we just got tired of it. And then my health kind of started getting a little funky. And I was just kind of tired of it, you know. And still, I wasn't in the mindset that I am today as far as, you know, prepping and homestead and all that. So I got rid of the rabbits. One of my greatest regrets. So after the rabbits, you know, that was about it. So I guess I'll tell you about some of the hunting stuff. I knocked my foot on the crate here. I got the camera set on it. The dog thinks somebody's outside. You know, my dad has an archery business. And so I grew up in the world of archery. Being on camera is nothing new to me. You know, I've been on TV shows, and some of y'all may have seen me on other platforms. So I've been around a while, but it was always hunting. You know, I've hunted North Carolina, South Carolina, been to Ohio. New Mexico, Texas, Montana, Alabama, been a lot of places. Ain't really been no farther north than Ohio though. I really enjoyed, you know, now that I'm looking back, I really enjoyed going to those ATA shows. You know, it's a lot of work, a lot of looking at product, but sometimes, you know, I would get invited to, I can't drop their names, I would get invited to some of the coolest parties, man. You know, so we'd be chilling. I remember one time, stayed out so late that they closed the crosswalk from the convention center and another part of the hotel to the hotel I was staying at. So man, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning and I had to roll. Actually, I can't walk. I had to roll like 2 or 3 blocks to get back into my hotel. Check this out. My wheelchair was almost dead. Man, I thought I was gonna get stuck out in the snow. Had to wake my parents up. Got in the hotel. Lord was looking after me that night. No problems. But so I've had a great time in my life. No real regrets other than the rabbits. But like I said, we're gonna get back to them in time. And I just kind of lived a normal life. Ran around like any young kid and done all things. There ain't nothing too special about me. And one day I figured I'm gonna get chickens. You know, I started watching Justin Rhodes several years ago. I think they were, well, I know, they were just finishing up the Great American Farm Tour when I had stumbled upon them. Like I said, my health was on the downside, so I was kind of in the dumps. So I spent a lot of time watching YouTube. And then I found Justin. You know, he kind of inspired me to get chickens. Well, first I had to decide I didn't want to sit in the bed and die. And I just got back out, and I was like, what am I going to do? And I mean, literally, I looked at the nurse one day, and I said, we're going to get chickens tomorrow. You know, I say a lot of off-the-wall things sometimes. And so dude was like, all right, whatever. Well, next morning, we went to Tractor Supply, and I don't remember how many birds I started off with. Started off with about 8 chickens, and then I didn't have nowhere to put them. Didn't have no house for them. They were just in the yard, man. So finally I got a small chicken coop built. I'll insert it. I decided I wanted to run. So we built a run, which is what I have now. So for a little bit I had 8 birds and 2 little run, and that was it. And then things started changing in the country, started seeing some things, and I just decided we're gonna go from 8 to 15. And then so I started with, continued with the 15 birds, and I decided, you know, I'm making pretty good money. I mean, it wasn't great, but I'm in a unique situation. Let's get 30 birds next year. So now we're at 36, 35 birds, and you know, I'm just overflowed in eggs. But I'm handling them, and they're still being sold. So now that I've told you my life story, best I could anyway, let's go give the chickens some food scraps and get the rest of the eggs. I got 11 this morning. Let's see how many I got left, or got now. Come on. Nah, I wouldn't hit that one. Let's give me scraps. So they got fed early this morning, but I hadn't let them out unless it's been raining and nasty. But I hope y'all enjoyed the stories. You know, my life story, I guess. Everybody's enjoying the food scraps. They got fed early this morning, but they always want some food. Let's see how many eggs I got. So that 3 there, 1 right there. I got 15 eggs today. I reckon that'll work. Alright, well, if you enjoyed the video, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and as always, we'll see you next time. Appreciate it.